What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Our Brains Hurt. December 7th. It's only 2 weeks away, 3 weeks away. Just one day less than 3 weeks away. The Pie Shop in DC, the Jasons, Huntingtons, My Band, the Blanks, Beatnik Termites, the Stivs, Dead End Lane, Pie Shop, Washington, DC, six bands, Saturday night, December 7th, the day before my birthday. It's also my birthday party. Come hang out. Tickets are on sale now. Hit us up on all our socials to find out the ticket links or go to thepieshopdc.com. It's our annual Christmas / holiday extravaganza. Like I said, six bands. It's a Saturday night. Get your tickets. It will sell out. We will see you there December 7th. Now, let's get to the show.
Well, they needed a jingle for their stupid little show, so they called up the Jasons and we said, fuck no. Then they called us again and they gave us $20 and we wrote them a song that said, your podcast sucks. Then they gave us more money and they asked us really nice and we finally gave in and we said, alright, I'll write you a song, but it's gonna be a clone of a Screeching Weasel song that we heard a while ago. So we wrote them a jingle and it sounded really rad. It was the best little jingle that their podcast ever had, but the file got corrupted and the email didn't work. Now they're stuck without a jingle singing Our Brains Hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. Our brains hurt, our brains hurt, our brains hurt. In a very non-copyright infringing sort of way.
Hey, Ron.
What's up?
How are you?
What's
How's it
up,
going?
man?
What's going on?
Oh, my
Val,
God.
this is Matt,
Hey,
Nice to
Matt.
meet
my
you.
partner in crime. Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Ooh.
Danimal, the Chanksta. This is Matt. You got now.
Right.
You guys now you all know each other.
Ron, I just
What's
got a
good?
kitten. Look at this. Look
A
at
kitten.
this.
Matt's got a cat on him.
Yeah.
Look
Yeah.
at this.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this little cat. So she's like running
Beautiful.
across the keyboard. She might accidentally shut it off.
That's
Don't let
totally
her
fine.
cute little face fool you. She's like a little anarchist.
Is she a Siamese?
She's a ragdoll.
Okay.
Yeah. They're like
Nice.
dogs. They're like the dogs of cats.
The dogs of cats.
Yeah.
The dogs of cats.
Val, tell her your cat's name.
Oh, Ruby. Her name's Ruby Soho.
Oh, nice.
Rancid.
Nice. That's great.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Great name.
Thanks. I was hearing
That's awesome.
when we were going to pick her up, I was hearing we're adding a little segment of that to one of our songs, and I was hearing that song and I'm like, I know the name. I was thinking of
Hell
anything
yeah.
to name my cat, and I was like, it's gonna be Ruby Soho.
That's awesome.
Thanks.
Very, very cool. All right. So it's just going to be the two of you tonight. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
the Lousekateers. All right. We've done stuff in the past and you guys were part of our first show.
Yes.
Just a couple months ago in Baltimore, which is awesome. Give us like a little background on the Lousekateers, kind of like a little history of how it formed, like what the two of you guys do. I know what the two of you guys do, but just, for the people listening at home.
Should I tell the story about the first time I met Dan?
Yes, I
man.
do want to
He's
hear
gonna
that.
get mad at me. So Dan was like, I found Dan on Craigslist, and
I'm sure
I
most people in his life found him on Craigslist, right?
yes,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, you name it, girlfriend, cat. Yeah, so like, that could go either way. And
Yeah.
at the time, I was living in a little apartment by myself, and
It could lead to a great band or you being murdered. Yeah, that's
yeah, there's always it's a crapshoot. I mean, I
One or
lived in
two
New
ways.
York City long enough to not be afraid of anything.
yeah.
But I mean, so I was like, all right, let me invite this guy over. So he comes over and doesn't talk to me. He just walks past me and starts playing the drums. And I'm like, very awkward.
Classic.
It's like when you first meet somebody and like you're about to do it or something and they don't like you skip dinner. You just go straight to it and that's it. Like we missed something here,
I don't know that because I'm horrible with chicks. So that is totally foreign to me.
No way, you're in
I've-
the blanks. You're in the blanks. How
I
could
have
you be
never-
horrible with chicks?
I have never talked to a woman that I didn't already know liked me. That's how hard I would rather like. That's the most terrifying thing in the world to me is to walk up to a girl that I don't know at all and just to start talking to her. Like fuck that, dude. Like I'd rather I would walk right past you and play the drums.
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
So that's what
that
he
don't count
did.
as
Yeah,
BS.
it was so weird. And I'm like, so we're gonna like have a conversation? I'm like, so like afterwards we sat down. At the time, it was just me and him. We had no idea
Yeah.
what we were doing.
So
I
this
had
invite, when you invited him over, it was as a band type thing. Like you were looking for a drummer.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
I
So and
wanted
you
to
had a
start
drum
music.
kit at your house?
Is that what it was?
No,
Or did you
no, I
brought
brought
one,
it over.
right?
Yeah, I brought one
Yeah.
that day.
I didn't
So
have
he
one.
brought his
Now I-
drum kit and didn't talk and set it up.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's 5 times more awkward than just
Yes.
walking over
Oh,
to. Okay, cool.
complete-
Yeah.
I was sitting on my couch getting all anxious. I'm like, I don't know what's worse, this or a serial killer. Like at least, the suspense. Like I was just like, what the hell? So he's like playing his drums or whatever. And I'm like, we jammed a little bit
Yeah.
or whatever. And then we sat down on the couch and I'm like, I don't want to like be somebody who plays locally because I really don't like the music scene much in New York. I was like, I want to be a touring band. And he was just like, okay. Like that was it. It was like I finally got a word out of him of agreement.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we found our at that time bass player El Chivo.
When was this, by the way, when you guys first hooked up?
2017.
2017?
17,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while. And
Where
then
are you, Val, in New York? Where are you in the city?
so I'm actually a little bit outside of the city. I left the city.
Okay.
I'm still there every day, but I'm like about 25 minutes north.
Where?
In Terrytown, Halloween Town.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow. Nice.
Sleepy Hollow, yep.
I was just telling Dan before you got on that I lived in New Rochelle for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I went to Iona College for a couple years right out of high school. My grandparents lived in New Rochelle since I was a baby, so I would spend
wow.
all my summers, and my whole other family. My mother's side is all from Throgs Neck in the Bronx. So
Okay.
I used to spend tons of times in Throgs Neck because we're Greedo. I mean, I'm 100% Italian. That's where
Yeah.
the Italians are in Throgs Neck.
Oh yeah, the Bronx. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
half
yeah.
Italian
So
too, and that's
okay,
where
cool.
all
Yeah,
my
yeah. The good half.
all my
Yeah,
relatives grew up.
Yeah. Yep. So all right, cool. So Terrytown, yeah, and it's Sleepy Hollow.
Mhm.
I've been there. Awesome.
It's
Awesome
great.
place. Yeah.
I love Halloween, so this is like
Oh, it's the best.
when I left the city, I was like, I need to live somewhere that I can walk to everything and I enjoy it, and it's
It's
great
beautiful
town.
there. Yeah. Nice.
It's a really great town.
There's
Love it.
there's Sleepy Hollow. This is a little morbid, but it's also a fun fact about me. So during the pandemic, I decided to pick a cemetery where I wanted to be buried. And there's Sleepy Hollow Cemetery,
Hmm?
and they have a natural burial ground. So to be labeled natural, you have to be buried in either just an all pine box with no nails or a cotton shroud, and they just put you 3 feet down so the bugs can get you instead of 6 feet down or whatever.
Whoa.
So
I live here and I didn't know that.
yeah. So I actually
knew about Sleepy
I
Hollow.
contacted the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery and asked them about plots. And it's my wife knows I'm gonna write it into my will, but that's where I will be buried. At
Wow.
Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. And if you pour a pumpkin beer on my grave in October, I will come and visit you.
All right.
That'll be the
Or
legend.
anytime. Pumpkin
Yeah,
works.
or anytime. Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. I keep fucking up your story. Go ahead. So
No, but
Yeah.
that was it. We got El Chivo a couple months later, who I had known, long story, and Dan had known, and he was like a mutual person that we both accidentally knew. And
Yeah.
he was with us for a really long time. And within the last year, we lost him. And then Eddie Topo, our lead guitar player, came in, and it was like the best thing ever. And we also had a guy named Jerome Baum. He was with us for a while and he was great. And he kind of left to do his own solo stuff. And then we got Cheeseburger, Greg, and it's just like it's like a match made in fucking heaven now.
That's very
Yeah.
recently,
We're all
right?
just like so
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, because even the bass player when you played with us is different than now, right? Like
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have Cheeseburger, yeah.
Cheeseburger. Sweet.
So
And actually, that
we've
was
known him
his.
for a long time.
Yeah. That the space play you saw us when we played together, that was actually his last show with us.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
it
was.
was in Baltimore. Yeah,
The
but
Okay. He saw that bass player for the Blanks. He's like, "Fuck it, I can't do this anymore."
I love the
Said nobody
Blanks
ever. Oh,
so much, Ron.
thank you,
I
thank you.
I talked
Oh
about
yeah.
you guys so much. I'm not just saying that because I love you and I love Justin.
I know.
I really like, I love Ramon's core, and
Oh
I
yeah,
just
Mhm.
think you guys are so great. It
thank you.
was so cool to get to play with you guys.
Yeah, it was cool to share that first night with you guys and Dead End Lane. It was fun. It was a
Oh, it
really
was a
fun
great
night.
night. I love that night.
Hell yeah.
That was actually, I don't know, I can't speak for Val, but I can say when we were touring, that was my favorite night of the tour.
Hmm.
Nice.
That was our
Nice.
favorite night, all of us. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
it was a good night.
That was Baltimore, so that's saying a lot. So
Oh,
Yeah,
um not many people have their best nights in
I've
Baltimore.
heard that. It's always like the bigger cities
A
that are
lot of
kind
people
of
have
like,
their worst night in Baltimore. Not
yeah.
many people
I've
have their
heard
best
that
night.
too, but I'd be curious to know the reasoning for it.
It was good people that night. That makes all the
Yeah.
difference, you know?
Mostly stabbings and shootings.
We don't care. We live
No,
in New
okay.
York. We
That's
don't
true.
Yeah, right, seriously.
Yeah.
We call those Tuesdays.
That's that's true. Yeah. Um what so I'm always we always ask this of everybody because I love hearing how people get into punk rock for the first time. So do you guys remember the first time, like how did you guys get into punk rock? Was there a sibling or a best friend that kind of like showed you this fucking killer album, and who were kind of like the first couple bands that you fell in love with?
Or-
I could speak from my story. It's so weird how vividly I remember it, but I had this friend named Danny, a little skater guy from school, and I was like really into Nirvana, and I was like going through my grunge
Hell
era,
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
my gateway
Yep.
drug.
Yeah.
And
Matt and I are the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
everybody
Yeah.
starts with Nirvana. They're the
Yeah.
gateway drug. Um, but he came over to my house and he's like, I don't know why you fucking listen to Nirvana. They suck. You should listen to punk rock. And I'm like, what? Like I knew the Ramones, I knew like the Sex Pistols, the
Yeah.
bigger
Yeah.
punk bands. And he had a 7 seconds tape and he's like, check this out. And I listened to it. And I was like, that's freaking badass.
Yeah.
And then he like started making me mixtapes of like all these different bands. And where I grew up in Florida, I grew up in St. Petersburg on
Okay.
the West Coast, the one that just got hit by the hurricane.
Yeah.
That's where I grew up on a beach, And there were two places where everybody went who was a punk, and it was the State Theater and the Refuge. And he took me to one of those shows, and it was just like it was literally like it sounds corny, but it was like a whole world opened up to me. I was like, I felt understood. I love the music. I love the people, the everything that came along with it. And I was pretty young. I was like beginning high school at that time, and we went every weekend. And that's really like it was my escape. I
Mhm.
grew up in kind of a messed up home, like a lot of people I'm sure have, and
Yeah.
going to punk shows was like a way to like let everything out. So I just fell
Mm-hmm.
in love with it.
Nice.
I
Dan.
would, for me, um, I had a friend introduce me at the time. This was like, I don't know, mid 90s, late 90s, to introduce me to all of this music. Like he like introduced me to like Blink, Green Day, Rancid, No Effects, and all these bands. So I heard about the music, but I didn't actually go to my first punk show till way later. And I would say at my first punk show I ever went to was the Misfits. I saw the Misfits with Jerry Only leading the band, and that to me was, I would
Oh,
say,
I'm
my
sorry.
what?
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
For
No,
Jared.
it's totally fine. No, it's funny because for the Misfits, as shitty as a person that what's his name is, Michael Graves is, the worst version of the Misfits is the one with led by Jerry Only. Because
oh well,
Yeah.
okay. So fair point. And what's funny?
but that's
There's
totally
two things
cool.
I
That's
remember.
that you couldn't help them when you went. You can't help that.
Oh yeah,
So,
no, absolutely. And it was $20. It was $20 going to see the Misfits.
Yeah.
And I've seen them a few times. But the reason why, to me, that was the biggest moment. That was like my first punk moment. Was regardless of like what you think of like how like good he was or a frontman, like obviously he's not Danzig or well, I don't even want to talk about Michael Graves. After this really stood out to me. After the show, he stayed for like about like an hour or so, just greeting everybody and like
is
little
he
kids.
like that?
Yeah, he is.
I always thought he was
like,
kind of a dick, but I had no reason to think that. For some reason, I just thought that.
no, Terry only let everybody on stage, and like he was so
Oh,
nice
wow.
to everybody, and
All
like
right.
he let kids on stage like sing some songs with him, and it was like a small little theater. He did it,
Nice.
and to me I would say that was my first real like punk rock
Awesome.
moment because I really found out okay, punk rock is about helping one another out, not just being
Yeah,
this
yeah.
like
Mhm.
self-prick asshole lead
Totally.
singer Michael Graves.
Yeah. Since you brought up the Misfits, I want to say my favorite thing that pisses everybody off real quick. American Psycho is the greatest Misfits album of all time. Let that sink in,
There
and
were
let's
some
continue with the
fighting
interview.
words.
Oh,
I love saying that, and I love saying it to Misfits
actually,
fans.
I do want to mention when I was at the Misfit show, there was a big giant "fuck Danzig" chant.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they were like "fuck you, Danzig."
Fuck you, Danzig. Nice. Awesome.
And now they're reunited, and it's like $100 to go see the Misfits at Madison
Yeah.
Square
Yeah.
Garden or whenever.
Yeah, I saw them where the Devils play a few years ago. I found a distant cousin of mine on Ancestry.com, and she was from LA, and she was like a third. She's actually my father's cousin. She's like a second cousin, but she's really into punk rock. And we went to go see the Misfits together in New Jersey.
Cool.
Oh,
And
man.
that was with Danzig, and Matt, have you ever seen the Misfits?
Yeah, just not like the OG Misfits.
Just the Michael Graves best version ever of the Misfits.
Was
I've
it Jerry
seen.
only?
Yeah, I saw the Michael Graves and the Jerry only version, but I
Okay,
never.
yeah.
Yeah.
For
You
better or
know,
worse, I've never seen I didn't see the Michael Graves version. I don't know, for better or worse, you got
Yeah.
Matt, you'll tell me if it's for better or worse, but
I mean, they were really good live.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I like the Michael Graves version, just not really too much him or whatever. I've met him a few times. My old
Yeah.
band played with him a few times, but this was before all the shit went down. But like I always say that if the Misfits, the Michael Graves Misfits weren't called the Misfits, everybody would have loved that band.
Yes.
But the fact that they were called the Misfits kind of killed it for a lot of people.
They were used to a certain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that was a whole new
exactly.
band, that would have been the second best
Yeah.
fucking
People-
horror punk band of all time. Yeah.
Everybody would have loved
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
when they first came out if they weren't called the Misfits. It's true.
Mhm.
That is true. Yeah.
But that's not how it went down. So
It's not. It is not.
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Not what Michael Graves did. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's funny. I saw an early version of not version, but an episode of Anthony Bourdain. What was that show that he used to do? When he used to travel to different places.
Wasn't the show just his name? Oh no, it was called something, wasn't it?
Anyway, he would go to you guys know Anthony Bourdain, right? The chef
Mm-hmm.
that recently committed suicide a couple years back. But
Right.
there was an early episode of that show where he would go to these different places and eat. And Michael Graves was with him the entire episode. They were like friends back in the day.
Wow.
It was hilarious. It was right when Michael Graves started playing for the Misfits. So he was like, he had his fucking Misfits hair and shit. It was wild. Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about Michael Graves anymore. All right. So
Hey guys, Trev from the Struggling Artist Podcast, and I want to talk to you real quick about Struggling Artist Record Club. The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, The Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to strugglingartistrecordclub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
What is the most memorable show for? What's the most memorable Lousekateers show, and what's the most memorable show that you ever went to as a spectator? Except for the blank show, because I know that's both of your most memorable.
That was a great show. I mean, that was definitely one of my favorite shows all year. Like, that was really fun. I really actually like. I want to speak to like the latest lineup, and we've done a lot of stuff over the years and opened up for a lot of really amazing people. But I really like. I think last week in Vermont, it was such a fun show. And it was with the new band, and it was just like we had a great crowd, and it wasn't like we've played in so many places, you know, it wasn't anything like super different, but it was just the energy of the show and us all being together and not making a whole lot of mistakes, which was nice.
Nice.
No, I mean, it's not like that happens all the time, but I mean, it's punk rock.
Before you talk away, go and just leave me be. I don't wanna hear a word you say when I'm just saying it right. There's no door, I don't need your sympathy. I don't wanna hear it. Go away, go away now. Oh yeah, I want you go away, go away now. Let me lay in all my misery. Close the shades, just let me be inside the dark where no one else is around. No, it's not ever gonna be okay. I don't wanna hear it. Go away, go away now. Oh yeah, I want you go away, go away now. Go away, won't you go away? Won't you go away from me now? Go away, won't you go away? This is the go away zone. Come on, this is the go away zone. Oh yeah, this is the go away zone.
But
Yeah, you have to.
I think it was that, I don't know, like as a spectator, there's so many levels of that. I think I've seen the Queers more than any other band.
Mhm.
I'm a huge Queers fan. I know you guys just recorded with Joe too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And we got a chance to do that, which to me was like, I've been going to their shows since I was like 14, and that was
Right.
such a big deal to get to go down there, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
because Joe's so awesome, and I look up to him. Like he's like the punk rock uncle, you know, that you wish you had.
He's the nicest guy in the,
Oh,
you know,
I
as
love
doing
him.
being in bands, doing the podcast, being promoters, like Matt and I are, like, of all the people that I've met in this business or this scene of punk rock, he is one of, if not the most gracious, nicest human being in the punk rock scene.
It's true.
Yeah.
He's
Fucking
very nice.
fantastic.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
He really is, like, and that's so nice to see that because
Joe Queer bobblehead.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love it.
Yeah.
He's just so like inspiring to me
Yeah.
as a human being and as like a songwriter. And I love that he's still doing it and he's still touring and he has so much energy. I love his
he's
energy.
67. You know, he's 67.
I can't, I know.
Isn't
It's
that crazy?
But
wild.
you wouldn't think so when you hang out with him, and that's something that's really, I know this is like spiraling into something else, but I love that about this scene is like it feels like people don't age.
Yeah.
Like nobody really gives in to like, you know, what society thinks you should be at what age, you know, and he was a person that I really took that from among so many other things, but I have to say, I've been to fancy shows. I've been to Madison Square Garden. I've seen pyrotechnics and I love a lot of different kinds of music, but I have to say, like, I love going to a queer show. I've seen them probably in the 40s, at least at this point. Because I love his music so much. It's nothing fantastic that he's doing. He's not jumping off the rafters.
Yeah.
but I just love the energy of it. I love the songs. It's nostalgic for me.
Totally.
So for me, I guess it would have to be them,
Yeah.
you know.
My my favorite part about the Queers is that everybody that plays with Joe has to know every single Queer song that's ever
Yeah.
existed
Mhm.
because they never do set lists. He just shouts the
Yes.
song out and you have to fucking know it
Yep.
immediately. I love
Yep.
it.
That's fucking
No breaks
wild, dude.
either.
I know.
Yeah.
I
No breaks.
know.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
It is.
wild. You have about
It's so wild.
you have 3 seconds to find that first fret on
Yeah.
your bass or that.
Yeah. And they're tight. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
it's so cool that he does that, you know.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
yours,
that is
Dan?
wild.
You know, okay, I hate the fact that Val just mentioned those two right now because those were going to be my answers, but I'll go more into detail about both. So I have to say the last show in Vermont was amazing, and honestly, I can give my answer, but there's a video on YouTube right now that we just put up. It is a cover of this guy named Owen Manure. It's Happy Guy, and you could see the crowd there. You could
Cool.
see it was like for us it was one of the bigger like it was the people there was about probably like 20 to 30 people there, but we were told
It
that like
was
by the
energetic.
end of the night it's really hard to keep people, and the
Yeah.
promoter told us that we kept everybody there and everybody was dancing, having a good time,
Hell yeah.
and I think it was probably the biggest pit I've ever seen for us.
Nice. Hell yeah.
I don't know, maybe not. I don't know if it's the biggest ballot. Maybe if there's another one, I can't remember because we've done so
Yeah.
many shows. But it
Dude,
was just good.
I'll take 20 to 30 energetic people to 100 or 200 people just standing
Yep.
around any fucking
Yeah,
night
it's
of the year.
100%.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Because
So
we've seen
uh,
everything, you know. We've seen when we started, we played to empty rooms, like literally
oh yeah,
empty rooms. I mean,
many
like
many times.
we did
Oh,
so
yeah.
many things, like and then, you know, once we got out and started playing more and going back to the same places, that's how you meet people.
Yeah.
No, and like we go like I don't know what I love more, playing or actually seeing the people. Like I really love this community,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like I don't know, it's like hard because I every time we go, I'm like, oh yeah, we're playing too. And it's like I'm just excited to like see like Justin and
Yeah.
Sarah and everybody that comes out to shows like from Maryland. We have our little
Right.
pockets there. That's what gets me excited about
Yeah.
going to the show. Or the Savage
Right.
Mountain Crew, you know, like
Yeah, it's a good
had-
crew. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
like we have our little pockets of people,
Yeah.
but that came from going back over and over
Totally.
and
Yeah.
meeting people and playing with the bands and, you know,
Yeah.
but that's my favorite part, you know. So
Yeah.
Dan, I don't know if you for your I don't
A
know.
spectator.
Yeah.
As a spectator. All right. So I hate to say the Queers because we already talked about them and we've been talking about that. But I love Joe.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, Val was the one that introduced me to the Queers. So she gets 110% credit for introducing me to the Queers. And she was like, I really want to go see this band. I really want to go see this band.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that they were playing at the Chance Theater where I also saw the Misfits.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, let me see. I actually tried to get us to open for them, like back in the pay to play days, where you
Yeah.
get to like, sell a bunch of tickets and open. But unfortunately, we couldn't get on the show, so we decided to go see them.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw them, and I told Val after we see, I thought they were great, by the way. And when I saw them, by the way, before I get to this part of the story, I swear to you, when I heard the songs, I didn't know much of the songs. I heard like she showed me like a Parasite or something, like little things.
Mm-hmm.
But I swear to you, I thought Joe Queer was making songs up on the spot. Like I thought he would be. I swear to God, I didn't have no idea. He would be like, "The song is about Danny Batman. 1, 2, 3, 4. The song is about parties. Get some party. 1, 2, 3, 4." And I swear to you, I thought that every song he was making up on the spot. I had no idea like these are so. I was like, but they were fucking amazing. But then after the show, we're leaving, and I was like, Val, sometimes bands show up on the back in the back area of the Chance,
Mm-hmm.
and long and behold, Joe Queer was there.
That's how we met him.
Yeah,
Like I met him before, like briefly when I had seen him he always goes out and talks to everybody
Mhm.
at shows, but I didn't like know him, you
Mhm.
know. And that was years ago, and it was so cool that we had a chance to like talk to him and stuff. He was just so cool, and he's like, "Come record." I'm like, "What?"
That
Yeah.
was the
Like
moment
my
for me.
Madonna. Like I was like, "Oh my
Oh
God."
yeah.
But he
Oh.
does it like for everybody. He's just like such a great guy, you know.
Yeah.
And we were just a band for like probably only a few months, and he's like,
And
"Oh
we
yeah,
were new. We were really new.
Yeah.
come to record." And I was like, "What are the chances like of that happening to me?" I was just like, "We go to see a show," and then he's like, "Oh yeah, let's come record." Like, so that to me is probably as a spectator, my
All right, I'm going to ask you these four questions, sorry, that we ask every guest on the show. Okay. A couple of them are music related, a couple of them are not. So, the first question is, if you were on death row, what would your final meal be? You could have anything you want to eat. It's your final meal. You're about to get assassinated however you want. I would personally pick firing squad, That's a whole other question though, but
Hmm.
imagine any restaurant, any meal you've ever had is available to you. What's your
give me
final meal?
sesame chicken, give me sesame chicken, give me Chinese food.
Chinese food, sesame
That's
chicken.
true.
All right,
Yeah. Sesame chicken is pretty good.
it is a
It is
good.
pretty
It's good
good.
shit.
It is pretty
I
good.
don't eat meat. So I would probably say like some kind of Indian food. I love Indian food, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're barking up my tree now. I'm a big
Oh,
Indian
it's
food
so
guy. Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
There's a
So
really
good.
great place right by me, and I swear to God, I could eat there every day. It's just so good. And when you're vegetarian, there's like a million things that you can eat. So I'd probably go for Indian food.
No one does
Yeah.
vegetarian as good as Indian food.
It's
Yeah,
true.
man.
It's
Yeah.
true.
No, they're shit.
Good,
Anything in
stuff.
particular?
Aloo Gabi Matar. I probably
Mhm.
like completely butchered that. Um, but
I have
that
no
shit
idea
is
what that
so
is,
good.
but Matt might.
It's like
I,
it's like
I
it's
do
like
believe.
Yeah.
it's like chickpeas and potato on
Mhm.
rice. Oh man, it's so good. And it's got all the spices that they use in it. It's so good.
I do know what you're talking about, and it is very good.
Oh
Nice.
man. Yeah, hell yeah. That's what I do.
All right. Cool.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, that is a good choice. Plus, it could be very messy afterwards.
Yeah.
So you might
Which
leave.
Well, that's why.
good for them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, it
you
doesn't
have a
matter.
good.
I'll be dead.
No, that's
That's
what
why
I
I
mean.
was
No,
saying.
And
no,
That's
then
why.
have to deal
Yeah.
with that shit.
That's
Like
right.
Matt-
Yeah, I was gonna say that shit's gonna go right through me. So you know what? If it's my last meal,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
out with a fucking bang.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever answered this question. I said, whatever's going to make the biggest mess afterwards for them to clean up
Yeah.
along with my dead
Yeah.
body. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right.
The perfect answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Second question is kind of along the same. What is your favorite cereal?
Everyone has one.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of cereal, but I
Mm.
could tell you what I liked as a kid.
Yeah. Or if, I mean, granola can be an answer too.
No, you remember
It can be, but
remember
it's not the
what
right
was it?
answer.
Remember Count Chocula?
Do I remember
Yeah.
Count Chocula?
Yeah, of course.
What? Who are you
How could
talking
you
to? Do we
forget?
remember?
And
That's like
Franken
asking Matt and I if we
Blueberry?
remember Oxygen.
Oh man,
You
that
guys
was
remember
the
Oxygen
shit.
or
That was
water?
like dude, that was like kid crack.
Yeah.
Like that
I have a
shit
box
was
of
like,
Blueberry in my cabinet
You know
right now
what?
that I
Val,
haven't
I'm
touched
surprised
yet
you
from
didn't say
Halloween.
you have
frosted flakes.
blueberry?
Yeah, I always
The
get all of
actual-
them. Yeah, I have
Oh.
Blueberry and I have
Oh.
like yeah. Matt and I
Hang
don't
on.
fuck around with it. We asked this question because it's fucking important.
Oh, yeah. It
Val,
is,
I'm
it's
surprised
very
you didn't say
important.
frosted flakes.
Fucking Count Chocula, man. Oh, that
Good answer.
that stuff is like it's literally like crack. Like
Yeah.
Val, Val, I thought well, number before I answer my Val, I'm surprised Val you didn't say frosted flakes because of Tony the Tiger.
oh,
Mm.
the Tony the Tiger story. Well, a quick little side story if you care to hear it.
Yeah, do it.
So when I was a kid, I was just telling the guys this when we were on a weekend show or something, that when I was a kid, I had a crush on Tony the Tiger. I actually legit had I was like a furry. Like I don't know. Like before that shit even came out, like I brought that shit. And I had a huge crush. I thought Tony the Tiger was hot. He was like a muscular tiger,
He's pretty hot.
cover of all the
Yeah.
cereal boxes. I was like, I'm gonna marry Tony the Tiger.
Hell yeah.
When I was a kid, like I really thought like this cartoon man was gonna marry me. And so I decided to write Tony the Tiger a letter. And I wrote him like this big love letter about like how Frosted Flakes made my life and how important he was to me.
I love this.
Yeah.
And my grandma mailed it to Frosted Flakes, and they sent me back this huge box of like Tony the Tiger paraphernalia, like
Nice.
It's
everywhere. And it was like, love Tony. I'm like, oh my God.
Nice.
awesome. Tony the Tiger thinks this story is great.
Great.
That is fucking awesome.
So
See?
yeah, Frosted Flakes is second, close second.
See, this is why we asked the cereal question, because it always makes conversation. We added this one. It always, every time.
Do you remember the Frosted Flakes competition from the late 80s, early 90s?
No.
So Frosted Flakes, or I guess Kellogg's, ran this promo where if they would send Tony the Tiger to random people's houses, and if they had a box of Frosted Flakes in their house, they would win all this. They would win this, I don't know, money or something. But
Oh,
right,
wow.
Matt, did I dream that? That was
No.
the thing. That was the
No,
thing,
that's
right?
the thing. Because
Yeah.
I remember trying to convince my mom that we needed Frosted Flakes because of it, because she would never buy me junk cereals.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
should
yeah.
have just
yeah.
written them a letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you could have, if you would have kept Frosted Flakes in your house, you might have been able to meet Tony the Tiger. Yeah.
Oh man,
Okay,
I
bunch
wish
of-
I had a good cereal story, but I gotta say for me, it's probably like Fruity Pebbles or something. But I wish I had a
Oh.
story. I don't got a
The winner.
It is
The
good,
winner,
though.
the
favorite.
winning
Fruity
question.
Pebbles
There
is
is a
good.
right answer to this question, and you got it
Oh.
right. The best cereal in the
All right.
world is Fruity Pebbles.
There you go.
It is pretty
All
damn
right, awesome.
Yeah, you just
Hell
warmed
yeah.
Ron's Italian heart.
Fuck yeah. All right. This third question, this is where it gets hard. So now these last two questions are difficult. So what science, this actually happens nowadays. So if you decide to get cremated when you pass away, they have this process where they could take your ashes and actually form it into a vinyl record of your choice. So if you were going to have your ashes eternalized in an album, which album would you pick? And it has to be one that exists. You can't just make up some crazy compilation of songs. So which album would you choose to eternalize your ashes in?
This is worse than the cereal question.
This is 10 times worse than the
Oh,
cereal,
because
it's hard to
the
pick
cereal
them up.
question takes 1 second to say Fruity Pebbles, then you're
Yeah.
right. That's it.
Just
we
wait
can't-
for the next question.
Oh yeah.
We can't mention our own bands.
It could be your own. It could be
Yeah,
your own album, as long as
totally.
it's a record that exists.
But lots of people have chosen some of their own records or one of their own records.
Yeah. I think the winner of this question so far is
Yeah.
what's his name from fucking Strung Out, right? There's a good-
Jake from
Kylie.
Strung
Yeah.
Out. Yep, there was the soundtrack to Miami Vice on vinyl. Like, yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think about soundtracks. That
Mhm.
makes it
Yeah.
harder.
That was the craziest / best.
Yeah,
The weirdest
that still
answer.
stands as the best answer to this question.
I'll say The Queers Don't Back Down.
Okay.
Good choice.
I think that's my
Yeah.
favorite Queers album too, actually.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time a Queers record has been chosen for this.
I love
You're
believe.
right.
I
Oddly
could
enough,
be wrong.
I think you're right
but-
though. Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow. Oddly enough, yeah. Wow. Matt, what's yours? We haven't done ours in a long time. These are still
Well, it can change from time to time, but
just giving Dan
Um,
more time to think.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
one that always pops in my head immediately, because I'm a lifelong Virginian, and
Yeah.
Avail is from Richmond, and I love Avail. So like Over the James or 4 a.m. Friday, one of those two.
Yeah.
But right now it would probably be Over the James.
Okay. 4 a.m.
Great
Friday
record.
is my favorite.
Yeah.
They're both great. You can't
Yeah.
go wrong with either of them.
I think the first time I did
Um,
this, 4 a.m. Friday was my choice. But
even Dixie. Dixie is like
yeah,
that was
Dixie's
my
good too.
Dixie is so good. But yeah.
But yeah, Over the James
Yeah.
to me is like almost
Yeah.
a perfect record. Yeah.
Yeah. I always go Michael Jackson Thriller because that
Yeah,
record
it's a good one.
Oh wow,
that was when I
yeah,
fell in love with music as a kid. That was my first
that was a great
concert was the
album.
Jackson 5 and yeah. So
That was
good.
a great album.
Yeah. Putting aside his extracurriculars. Um
You know, all right. I thought of mine, and again, this is a hard question because it could always change tomorrow.
oh
Yep.
yeah, we get
Um,
that all so many times well have a guest on and they'll email me or Matt and be like, I should have said this
Yeah.
like the next
Oh, yeah.
day, but yeah. So,
so I'll give you two.
okay.
I'll give you two. Well, actually, no, I can't even give you one because it's not even out yet. So never mind. I was gonna say this upcoming album that we're making right now called Sayonara, dude. Is it's gonna be, I think, is our greatest work yet. But so I would have said that, but it's not
You
out
could
yet.
change your will
So
once it comes out, but give me the other
yeah,
one.
so that will be the answer once it comes out. But until then, it was because this comes with a story. I had a really great karaoke night in Florida when we were
Oh
on
no.
tour, where I did a little karaoke to Old Dirty Bastard.
Nice.
Yes.
It was one of my finest moments ever on a
Got it on
microphone.
video.
Fuck yeah.
It's hilarious.
So
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna say Enter the 36 Chambers by Wu Tang.
Oh, so fucking
Hell
good.
yeah.
That's my
Hell
favorite
yeah.
hip hop
Good
album of
answer.
all time.
It is
Hell
my
yeah.
favorite
Oh
mine
man.
too.
Fuck yeah.
So
That's the first time that album has been an answer, I think.
Damn it.
all right.
I think there might have been a Wu-Tang answer to this, but I don't know if it was that album.
Who would have picked a different Wu-Tang album than that?
It might have been that album, but I'm pretty sure there was one person who said Wu-Tang for this
Or
answer.
Triumph, maybe? I mean, that's a good
I
album
just
too. But yeah.
it might have been Taff, actually.
Oh, okay.
It might have been. I don't know.
But again, like I said, this answer could change tomorrow, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
on
yeah.
my brain.
Great
So
answer.
those
Great
are my
answer.
two. Those are my two.
Nice. All right, final question. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of punk rock? And we give you 5 instead of 4, so because you get a crazy horse too. So 5 people who you would put on your Mount Rushmore of punk rock.
Ooh, 5.
Yeah. Anybody. Like we say punk rock,
Yeah.
but really like this just really
Okay.
stems all music to who you consider
Yeah, we've had
punk,
some,
you know.
Yeah.
For mine, definitely Joe Queer. That's
Okay.
one. Kim Shattuck from the Muffs.
Nice.
I'm a big Muffs fan.
R.I.P. Yeah, R.I.P.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, man, I loved her. Brody Dahl from the Distillers.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
Joey Ramone. Oh, Brian Wilson, the Beach Boys.
All right.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a solid fucking.
Even though he's not punk rock, I'm a huge fan of old music,
Yeah.
and I should have said Richie Valens too, because we're actually in another band called Going Unsteady, where we do pop punk ska twists on old songs like Richie Valens and
Nice.
all those old, the Drifters and everybody. I love old music. Love
Yeah.
old music. So yeah.
Brian Wilson and Richie Valens could both kind of be considered punk from their day and age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Well,
could.
they inspired a lot of the Ramones. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
kind of just
Oh,
sped
yeah.
up old music, you know?
Oh yeah.
So there's like a connection there. I love music that makes you feel good, you know?
Yep.
Like I was listening to the Beach Boys when I was a kid, and I loved them. I just love them. I'm not like a huge like later Beach Boys fan as much as the earlier stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I-
not the John Stamos Beach Boys, but like
No.
the OG,
No,
like the
Uncle
Charles
Jesse.
Manson
Uncle
Beach
Joey.
Boys. Yeah, the Charles
Uncle
Manson
Jesse.
Beach
Uncle
Boys. Yeah.
Jesse.
Uncle Jesse,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, not the Uncle. Yeah, the Charles Manson ones. It's got to be the Charles Manson ones.
Hell yeah.
That also that might be the quickest anyone has singly answered that question.
Yes.
It's hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely the quickest best.
But
Yeah.
I always think like we get asked in a lot of interviews, like, who are your influences? And those are always the people that come to mind.
Yeah.
And I think you
Oh.
hear a lot of that in our sound. There's like a mix of a lot of different
sure.
things there.
Hell yeah.
All right. My 5. So I'm sharing 2, but I thought that the other 3 are different. So I'm sharing Joe Queer
Okay.
and I'm sharing Joey Ramone because I feel like it's fucking Ramone. We're from New York.
Yeah.
Ramone.
Oh hell yeah, yeah.
We
Those
were talking
answers
about,
have been a lot, which is
Yeah,
cool, you know, because
yeah.
obviously, like, what? Yeah.
so I'm gonna pick Joey Ramone. I'm picking Joe Queer for obvious reasons. We just talked about that. I'm picking Danzig.
All
I'm putting
right,
Danzig
nice.
up there.
Okay, go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
putting. Listen, I love the Misfits. To me,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
they're on my top 5 favorite punk bands.
Yeah.
I'm putting another Ramone on there. I'm putting Richie Ramone.
Oh,
I
nice.
Richie. Yeah.
I saw him live, and I never got to see the Ramones, but I got to see my favorite Ramone and Richie. And I actually remembered a podcast. I was listening to your podcast, and he said it influenced me as a drummer. One of the best things, what really makes a good drummer is if they have hands like Buddy Rich, and if they have feet like John Bonham. That's like the like one of that pretty much is like the perfect drummer. And I remember that from listening to your podcast,
Awesome.
Nice.
and that stuck with me. And I was like, you know what? He's right. He's 100% right there.
And he's
So from a
100%
drummer,
the best Ramones drummer of all time.
so I think he's the
Yeah.
most creative one.
I don't even think it's
Besides,
close.
So he was the only drummer I think that wrote for the band too. So
Yep.
and he brought. I think their best records were with him. That's when Bonzo goes to Blitzburg. That's like my
Yeah,
favorite.
totally.
That's my favorite Ramon song.
Yeah, that's actually probably my favorite Ramon song too.
And
That
Richie
song
signed
fucking
my
rules.
bass too. Richie Ramone signed my bass right there. Bam.
Hell yeah.
Somebody put something in my drink. I all pretty much all his songs. Like
Yeah.
I just think that band took a 180 for like the better once Richie joined.
Well, Joey said that he saved the band. Having him, like he shot this energy into the band that they had, that they needed at that time, really, really bad. And he credits Richie to saving the Ramones. So
So yeah, so we got Danzig, Joe Queer, Joey, Richie, and I'm just gonna put Old Dirty Bastard up there just for the
Do it.
have the random.
Yeah, that's great.
We
I
need
love
something
it.
random, completely up there, not related to anything.
that dude's punk
And
as fuck, dude.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
ODB is
yeah.
punk as fuck. Yeah.
100%.
Listen, he
Yeah.
put like I don't know if you remember the MTV thing back in the day, MTV News, whatever that was, where he took his like 13 kids, I thought it was 13, 15 kids. He put them on a list, and they're all, but with different women, by the way. Not that it was with, I think.
Yeah.
And he put them on a limousine, to go buy food stamps and go get food stamps from the government.
Hell yeah.
And you can look it up on YouTube. It was because it was broadcasted too.
Yeah.
So there you
Well,
go.
his first solo album was just a picture of his food stamp, fucking his ID,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That dude was fucking. That dude was so good. It's such a fucking like talent too. Like, I mean, people, they laugh at his lyrics and shit because they're kind of goofy, but he was fucking smart as fuck, and his lyrics are fucking insanely good, good. Like, let everybody know where they could find you on all the socials and the interwebs and all that fun stuff.
All right. We're on Instagram, Facebook. What is that? Well, it just popped out of my. What was that?
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. Well, no, it's
YouTube.
you control this most of the time. I forgot. It just popped out of my brain.
TikTok.
TikTok,
Oh,
yeah.
TikTok.
We're on TikTok.
Cool.
Our TikTok's
pretty much
funny.
everywhere.
That's like all the funny stuff.
Cool.
YouTube, Napster. I heard one time we were on Napster still. I was like, what? I can't believe that's
Napster's
still a
still
thing.
around?
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought Napster wasn't around, but apparently it is around. And apparently we're on there.
Nice.
But yeah, so pretty much everywhere, Spotify, pretty much anywhere. Just type in Lousekateers, the whole list will pop up. We have a website. Go right there. It gives you links to everything.
Awesome. I'll add all the links to the bottom of the podcast. This will be out tomorrow night ish. Tomorrow night, probably around like 9, 10 ish.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'll tag you guys when I post it all over social media and all that good stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank
I'm glad we finally got
you.
to hang out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice to
Thank
meet
you.
both of you as well.
Yes.
When are you guys playing again, Ron?
We're playing December 7th, so 3 weeks from today, actually, at the Pie Shop in DC with the Jasons, the Huntingtons,
Oh.
Beatnik Termites,
Oh,
Dead End
yeah.
Lane, and the
Oh, that's
Stivs. Yeah,
love all
it's gonna
those
be fun.
bands.
It's our
And then
annual holiday bash.
Yes, it's the Our Brains Hurt annual holiday show. We do it every year, and the Jasons are always a part of it. And we always take a picture with their asses and make Christmas cards out of it. So
Yes, yeah.
They love to show their asses.
yes, they
I
do.
love it.
They'll show all of it if you let them.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
And then the next Saturday, December 14th, we're playing up in Asbury Park with Burnt Mill Ghosts and a couple other bands, I think. So
Oh,
yeah. So
cool,
Yeah.
cool.
but yeah, so I'll try to see you guys in February for sure. And thanks so much for doing this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you. Thanks
yeah,
for
and
having us.
yeah, of course. And I will tag you when we post this tomorrow night.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks
All
so
right,
much,
guys.
guys.
Thank
Of
you.
course.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. Been very nice meeting both of you as well.
You too.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, take care.
Later, guys.
I don't wanna go to prom with you. But why? No, just ain't my thing. I don't wanna wear some stupid dress. Come on. Practice is so boring. I don't wanna go to prom with you. One night. I'd rather sit in my bed, smoking cigarettes and listening to Joey Ramone. Just get it out of your head. Hey, girl, you know it could be fun. Not for me, 'cause I really don't like anyone. Whoa, oh, 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 no, I'm not going to prom with you tonight. Not going to prom, I do tonight. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, oh, no, I'm not getting on up for you tonight. Dancing under the fake stars tonight. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, I don't wanna go to prom with you. Yeah, I know. I thought I'd ask anyhow. I don't wanna go to prom with you. Taking pictures of prom to go out. Do you wanna go to prom with me? No way! I'm sure I hate the DJ. But your mom would love to see you go. That's great. I never listen to her anyway. Hey, baby, give it one small chance. I'm not going to the stupid dance. Whoa, oh, 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 no. I'm not going to prom with you tonight. Not going to prom, I do tonight. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, no. I'm not getting on up for you tonight. Dancing under the fake stars tonight. Whoa, oh, oh, whoa, oh, whoa, no, 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 not going to prom with. No, 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 not going to prom with. No, 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 not going to prom with. No, 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 not going to prom with.
Hey, I got an idea.
You're never gonna change my mind.
Well, maybe if you just listen for a second.
Alright, what have you got?
Maybe we could spike the bunch.
I'm listening. What else have you got?
Slash our mean old gym teacher's tires.
Yeah!
Or spray paint our names in the bathroom.
Make fun of all the popular kids,
And give a wedgie to the class president.
Laxatives and
Leave before someone finds out.
read it. Okay, I'll go tonight. I'm going to prom with you tonight. I'm going to prom, I do tonight. Whoa, 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 it's you and me tonight. Destroying the prom tonight. You know, baby, into a fight. You know, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm going to prom with. There's no one else I'd rather spend the night with than you.
How do I do this shit? I can still hear you. So what do I have to press? Close.